All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. We had technical problems. Back up and running. There you go, man.
All right. Here we roll.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So 95 out of 100 people work the majority of their lives making the other 5% comfortable. They're building a plan that doesn't belong to them. So what I'm proposing to you is literally a 2-year commitment on a very strategic plan that when you work this plan, it'll allow you to have your life back. And so what we're talking about is a business that doesn't involve inventory, limitations, challenges with bosses, overhead, payroll taxes, bricks and mortar, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about something much different than that. And our story starts with this right here, Youngevity. And the motto of our company is 90 for life. And if you look at the perimeter of this circle right here, we're dealing with billion-dollar industries. If you look at the subcategories of this, these are categories that you've all decided historically that you're a whole lot better off if you live with them than if you live without them. So you're spending money on these items every day of every week, of every month, of every year, and you're making somebody else wealthy instead of making yourself wealthy. So the reason our motto is 90 for life is because there's a gentleman named Dr. Joel Wallach, and he's featured right here in this slide. He's the founder of Youngevity 18 years ago. That's a picture of our headquarters in the upper left-hand corner. On the far right side, that's a picture of a couple hundred people standing on the bow of a very big ship, and we're vacationing. We're traveling out into the Caribbean, and we've gone to multiple countries, various islands. We do that every year in January, and we're having a great time. So Youngevity is about hard work. It's about products that make sense. It's about a global project that is inspired by a lot of these brand ambassadors right here. And some of them are people that you know. They're celebrities. They're athletes. They're people that influence other individuals. And with these headquarter locations, San Diego, Boston, Salt Lake City, Auckland, New Zealand, we're all over the world. We're publicly traded. You can see our ticker symbol there. Our stock has literally doubled in the last couple of months. We're doing something pretty special. And Dr. Wallach, who is a legend in the health and nutrition industry, has been published in journals all over the world. He's an author of a book called Dead Doctors Don't Lie that's gripped, not just the nation, he's gripped the global community in a very big way. And he's made a lot of waves. He's been practicing medicine for, decades at this point, and he's surrounded himself with some amazing people all through the healthcare industry. And we're carrying a big torch because we're dealing with statistics like this. And these are not friendly. They're not friendly to ourselves, and they're not friendly to our neighboring countries. We don't want to be the statistic right here. We don't want to be the most obese nation in the world, and we're spending more money than everybody else looking for solutions. And Dr. Wallach says, we've got to stop thinking that someone else is looking out for us. The FDA isn't doing it. The government's not doing it. Your parents probably aren't doing it. If they knew better, they might be doing something. The challenge is we're all addicted to something that's more powerful than heroin or alcohol or any other drug of choice. That's called sugar. Most of our food sources today are laced with sugar, and we're all addicts. And that's why the obesity pandemic is a big deal. It's why 1 in 3 or 1 in 2 people now are pre-diabetic or fully developed diabetics, and it's time to do something about it. So we're not going to get very far in life if we're relying on the media and all the advertisements that are out there saying that certain things are good for us. And so Dr. Wallach makes it real clear. He said, it's not what you're eating that's hurting you so much as what you're not eating, and it's the 90 essential nutrients. After 20-some thousand autopsies on humans and animals, Dr. Wallach showed that there are 90 essential nutrients that your body has to have, and you're a lot better off with them than you are without them. And that's how he eliminated over 900 diseases in living creatures. So here's the delivery system. You got to get those 90 essential nutrients into your body. We do it through a powder called Beyond Tangy Tangerine. You put 2 scoops of that in water every day. You take your essential fatty acids, which is in the middle. It's a gel cap, and that helps you not develop things like Alzheimer's and dementia and other memory-related issues. The Beyond OsteoFX on the right is for your bone health, and there's a lot of diseases associated to your bones not being strong and healthy. So that's how we deliver our supplements into our body. to keep us healthy, and supplements are not all equal. Most supplements on the market are about 10% absorbable, and we use plant-derived minerals because of their absorbability factor, and we have about a 90% absorption, 95% absorption, 98% absorption through all of our nutritional supplements, and absorption is everything. So a lot of times people take products, they say, I don't feel any better, or I don't feel any different, and that's an absorption issue. So I know it's a little bit of a rabbit trail. Even when you take good nutrition, sometimes you still aren't absorbing because you're eating gluten. And gluten is in about everything we eat today. And gluten is an anti-absorption component, if that's the right word, that's inside of most of our food. So if you want to see your absorption ratios go up, reduce your gluten, or better yet, stop eating gluten altogether. Big deal. Little secret, little hint. Dr. Wallach put all these packs together because he said, I know you're not smart from the standpoint that you've gone to medical school and you researched and studied what I've studied. So he creates these packs right here and says, listen, think about the challenge that you're having, find the pack that fits you, and start taking that pack. And all the packs have the 90 essential nutrients in relation, and those packs are making a big difference in people's health. For example, here's some people that are talking about how their health radically transformed by just taking the weight loss pack. So find out what your challenge is or what you feel like you're predisposed to, pick the right pack, and watch your health improve. We want people to challenge themselves, set a goal. By choosing the right pack, we want you to be a billboard. Tell everybody the good news, the reason you're happier, the reason you're more clear, the reason you got a spring in your step and jumping out of bed earlier in the morning and feeling like you got better rest, the reason why your blood pressure is different, your heart rate has gone down, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of stories to be told when you get the right nutrition inside your body. So that's the health side of our company. Let's talk about the financial side because it's really quite simple. We want you to change your shopping habits. You're spending a lot of money going to stores and you're making those store owners better off or quite frankly wealthy when you could be making yourself wealthy by rerouting how you're spending your money. So if you've got a certain budget and you say this amount of money is allocated for different various sundries and things that you're consuming and running out of, reroute that money right into Youngevity so you can get wealthy instead of making them wealthy. Change how you're spending your money. And here's what my advice to you is. My advice to you is to copy what we did. So my wife and I have been free because of this company. And I'm not going to go into the story tonight. I'll just tell you that we had a health challenge in our family. It was very scary, and it got reversed. It got taken care of because of Dr. Wallach's 90 for Life message. We also were at a point in our lives where we're into Youngevity, and as a result of that, we don't have jobs. We don't have to have jobs. We built something once. We're gonna get paid on it forever. We travel the world. I've been in more countries than most people have been in their lifetime in the last year, literally. And most people are not well traveled. We are well traveled. Our kids are well traveled. And they've done things already that most people, quite frankly, have to read about in textbooks or history books or storybooks or look in National Geographic to experience. They've had some of those opportunities. So what you want to do is recognize that this is a business. You're going to start your business with a CEO pack. And that CEO pack looks very similar to this pack right here. I say similar versus exactly like it because there's a couple products that have been switched out for some different things. Like the green stick tubes right there, that's been changed out with something called root beer belly. It's a digestive probiotic. And we also have 2 sets of the 90 essential nutrients. We have products for pain. We have products for energy. We have products for your cellular health. We have products that re-nutrify you after you've sweated out and worked out really hard. And if you look at these bullets right here, we want to pay for your transportation. We have a car program. We have stock options that you can earn by rank advancing. As your team is growing, which I'm going to show you how to build right now, you're going to get paid a lot of money to tell the 90 for Life story. And I'm going to quote Dr. Wallach. He says, we're going to build an army of people. It's better than the media. It's better than newspapers. It's better than radio advertisements. It's better than every other form of advertising. We're going to use excited people who have real stories and real experiences with their finances and their health, and we're going to let them loose. And we're going to let them go inspire people and radically transform lives, and we're going to pay them an obscene amount of money to talk about Youngevity. So that's the fun that we get to have. And my wife and I have done a really good job of telling the Youngevity story for the last 3.5 years, and as a result, it's made us Rookie of the Year, trainer of the year, you know, in the top couple handfuls of income earners, and we travel all over the world giving people hope. So you can be part of that crusade as well by starting your business with a CEO pack. So unlimited training, it's amazing. So now here's where it gets fun. How do you monetize this? How do you monetize the fact that you're now what we call a CEO? And you've got your CEO pack. You just spent $550 with tax to be part of Youngevity, and you're off to the races now toward your dream, toward the things that make your heart sing, that puts fire in your belly, that spring in your step. You're off to the races. And nobody else has cut you loose and said you're off to the races. Your job doesn't allow you to be off to the races. Your job doesn't put fire in your belly because you've given up your life. How could it put fire in the belly even if you're doing the right thing? Here's how you know if you're in love with what you do. We stop paying you and you keep doing it. It's that simple. If you would say, I would do it anyways, then in fact you are in love with what you do. But then I'd say, here's the beautiful thing. If you build this business, you can keep doing what you're doing as long as you want to on your terms. And that's what it's all about. Make the decisions that you're following in life on your terms versus on somebody else's terms. Andrew, have you ever wanted to take time off and somebody told you no?
Yep.
Yeah, that's horrible. Why would that ever make sense? You want to take time off. You know you need a reprieve. You know you need a vacation. You know you need to recharge your batteries. You know you need to get away. And someone says, sorry, you don't have the time to do that. You haven't earned the right to take off that time or more time.
In the 8 years I've been back in the US, on every vacation I've taken, I've had to work on that vacation.
In 8 years.
In 8 years.
So you've never taken a stress-free vacation?
Nope.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I don't mean this as a cliche. How could that work out to anybody's best interest?
It does.
It's not even in the best interest of the employer to have a tired person. That's not in their best interest. And yet, it happens all the time. They take advantage of people because they can. So stop being taken advantage of. Make what you do on your terms. So let me show you how to part with $550 and put it back in your pocket within 1 week. Okay, so here's an example of, let's say that's you. And here are 4 individuals that you have decided deserve the gift that you're presenting to them. What's the gift? The gift is the right to be completely free. That's what the gift is. It's the right and the ability for somebody else to be completely free, to own their life, all of their life, not part of it, every bit of it. Now here's the piece that's amazing to me. Sometimes we'll say, you know, I'd rather talk to strangers than talk to people I know. Really? You're going to give a gift of freedom to a complete stranger and you wouldn't give it to your mother, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your next door neighbor, your very best friend. You would rather not have them receive that gift and you'd rather give that to a complete stranger. No, it shouldn't be that way. I'm telling you right now, if you don't give this gift to somebody you know, then somebody that's looking to give the gift away is friends with the people that you know, and they're going to give it to them first. And they're going to end up free because of somebody else instead of you. And they're going to go, why did you not tell me about this? Why did you withhold from me? Why would you do that? And then it's going to cause a rift in your relationship. Don't put a rift in your relationship. Go let them have the satisfaction of you being their friend and knowing that you care that much about them that you gave them that gift. If they want to opt out of the gift, that's on their conscience. Just don't make it on yours. So that's the strongest point I could make. Those 4 people right there represent somebody that you already love, adore, and care about, that you want to pass this gift to. And when they get a CEO pack, just like you did, why will they do it? Because they have a dream. And they're not going to fully realize that dream without a CEO pack. They'll limp along as a hobbyist, thinking there's a shortcut or a faster way or a better way, or they can get away with doing something different. And the truth is, they're not able to. It's a system. You got to follow the system. You have to have a CEO pack if you want an extraordinary life. So they're going to get one. And when they do, these are the commissions that you're going to earn in total that put all of the money back in your pocket, all of it. So if you divide this out, it's about $140 per person. That's what you receive back on 4 CEO packs. You now have all the money back in your pocket. It's cost you nothing to be in the business, and I think that's pretty incredible. And how long should that take you? Quite frankly, it shouldn't take you more than a week. Because I'm going to show you in a few minutes. You make a list of 6 people, and we teach you how to invite those people. And when they see this information, they say yes. It works just like that. If they see this information, they say yes. And you have to trust that, and you have to believe it, because whoever sees this plan, they don't have a better option on the table. And the only reason they wouldn't say yes to what we're talking about, to radically transform their life, is because of fear or their ego. And both of those things will take people down. And unfortunately, that's what takes down most Americans, because we think we're entitled to something, because we live in the land of the free and the home of the brave. Yet nobody's free because nobody's brave. So this is a chance to be brave. This is a chance for your people who you've gifted the ability for freedom to exercise their ability to be brave. So when they do that, they're going to be running right along your side. And here's what happens next. And I love this. This is an organizational chart, and it looks just like the organizational chart at your job. Looks just like it. There's the 4 people that I just showed you on the previous slide that decided to become CEOs. And we're just using a very simple example. We're going to call this $150, just as a simple theoretical example. You already spend more than $150 at stores with things that we offer through Youngevity. If you broke down the things that we have available through this company, I've only shown you 3 products and a few healthy body packs. We have over 1,500 things in this company that are offered, that are high quality, that are affordable, that are readily available to make your world easier, simpler, simplified. And if you'll just take $150 a month and route it into Youngevity instead of routing it into King Soopers, then you can get wealthy. Here's what that looks like. 4 people making that conscious decision, that's going to return to you a residual about $50 a month. And I know that's not a game changer. I know that's not your retirement by itself. However, it's the beginning. It's the beginning. $100 a month in your pocket. And we're going to teach those people to do the same thing, and that puts another $600 in your pocket. And we're going to teach them to do the same thing, and that puts another $2,300 in your pocket. You know what I love about that number right there? $3,200 a month is enough to bring most spouses who are outside the home as well home. So the lower income earner of the family, the least of the breadwinners, can come home. That's what $3,200 does. And you know what I like about the $900? That would have prevented about 80% of the total bankruptcies in this country if an extra $1,000 a month was coming into the household. That's a big deal. It's a really big deal. So don't take these numbers lightly or think that the game changer comes when you're making really big money. The game changer comes at $900 to $1,000 a month. That's a game changer. And people have already said, I'm already working my backside off. I'm toiling so hard. I'm tired. I'm sick. My fingernails have dirt and blood underneath them. I'm scraping and clawing already. There's nothing else I can do. I'm maxed out. So as close to the finish line as just another $1,000 seems for people, it's more than they're capable of performing. And you can do that. That solution is right here. You can do that in months. You do it your first month in this business and maintain it. If you know what you're doing, you take action. So the solution is right around the corner. It's right around the corner. To get to $3,200 a month, it might take you several months to make that happen. It might take you a year. What if it took you 2 years to make an extra $3,000 a month? Game changer. You bring a spouse home, I promise you, you made their life. Not their day, you made their life. And if that was a 2-year plan to bring one person home so that they could focus on the family, so they could raise the kids instead of having latchkey kids or kids. My son doesn't come home. He's 12. He's sitting in the back of the room. He doesn't come home to an empty house. We are completely engaged parents that focus on that kind of stuff. And we refused. Years ago, we said when we have kids, we refuse to turn them over to somebody else or let them fend for themselves. You know how many kids come home and there's nobody there? And they're foraging and they're growing up too fast and they're watching whatever they want to on television and just playing video games to make time pass. It's unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. So that's what those numbers do. Now, if you want to have some fun, then let's talk about some bigger numbers. I mean, this is where you can really start to dream at a big level. Watch this. Do it again. Help those people get 4. Now you're up to $12,500 a month. You know, you can live a really darn good life for $12,500 a month. You can be completely free. You can afford pretty much everything you want to afford. You can buy airline tickets every couple months. You can go on nice vacations to Mexico. You can be debt-free for $12,500 a month. With our car program, you can have your transportation paid for, have 2 car payments, really nice vehicles, completely afforded. It's a good life. If you want a ridiculous life, like way outside the box, then do it one more time. That totals 60 grand a month, $60,000 a month. There are more people than you realize that look like plain Janes and Joes, like the everyday person, that are multi-wealthiers inside this company. And you would never know it. You don't have to flaunt what you have. You don't have to like wear it on your sleeve. People ask me things like, Scott, you don't even afford a watch? I mean, I can go get a watch. It's at the moment, for some reason, it's just not a big deal. You know why I'm not wearing a watch right now? Well, I don't need one. That's the number one reason. Is I started to freak out. I'm going, I gotta have a watch. And I'm going, why do I care what time it is? I mean, I do have some appointments. I have a phone in my pocket. That tells me the time. But I don't want to be the guy that goes around constantly doing this. And I'm not. And I'm really comfortable right now not having a watch on my wrist. And if I do have one on there, I mean, today I put my Rolex on. And I was about ready to head out the door. And I thought, nah, I put it back in the drawer. That was it. It was just a decision. Who do I have to impress? Nobody. So does it really matter? I don't know. So I'm just saying there's a lot more people in this company making that number and you wouldn't even know it. And I kind of like that. It's impressive. It's fun. So it gets better. What I love about this compensation plan is that there are 10 ways that you get paid. And I love those ways that you get paid. And one of them I've got to go back to. And I wish I could accelerate and not take you the pain of doing the reverse button. However, it's an important slide. See that slide right there? The 4th person you've introduced to Youngevity with a CEO pack, the 4th person that said yes to an extraordinary future that orders the CEO pack, you start earning those coding bonuses right there. And it really doesn't matter. It's kind of like asking somebody to tell the time and then you tell them how the watch was built. It really doesn't matter how it works. All I'm telling you is that whatever your position is, at the time someone enters your team with a CEO pack, you get one of those numbers. And you can do the math on those. How many people would join your team over the next month, the next 6 months, the next year with CEO packs? What if it was 10s? What if it was 20s of people? What if it was hundreds of people? What if over the next year, over 1,000 people join your organization with a CEO pack, and you got $35 a person, $100 a person? Have fun. I mean, those are some big numbers. And you want to rank advance the company as fast as you can. That's what you want to accomplish. Now let's get forward. So 10 ways that we get paid. I've discussed pretty much all of them, even though I haven't necessarily used these fancy terms for how you receive the income. They're there. Here's the car bonus I was telling you about. And it's so amazing to receive additionally, on top of the other bonuses that are in there, a car bonus. You know what's great? Most kids, when they turn 16, it's one thing to get a license, and then it's another thing to have permission to drive something. So when you turn 16, there's this thing like, I'm free. I can drive anywhere I want to. The next really big question is, yeah, what do you have permission to drive? And you find out real quickly that transportation is really costly. And when you turn 16 and you're out on the road and that first tank of gas hits you and you're like, it's my turn, and you're going, $60. You know, not a lot of 16-year-olds have an extra $60 around. So, well, what if you did? What if you did have an extra 60 bucks around? What if when it was your turn to get a license, you could afford your own car payment? What if you belonged to a company at 16 that would make that payment for you? And instead of going to mom and dad, what can you afford me? And they're like, I don't know, you're 16, 2,000 bucks. We'll find something that works. And you're like, oh, really? I gotta drive a beat up jalopy? Yep, it's the rite of passage. That's what happens to 16-year-olds. It's just a rite of passage. You get to drive a jalopy so you can appreciate having something that isn't a jalopy. You know, expensive, blingy cars. And the reality at the end of that road is most people spend money they don't have to buy things they cannot afford to impress people they don't care about in the first place. Isn't that true? Yeah. So why don't we just teach our young people that you buy what you can afford? Here's what's cool about that. If you go teach the work ethic that the young or old, and you just go get it done, then you don't have to worry about affording something that you don't have, because Youngevity will make the payment for you. So if you teach people the responsibility of maintaining good credit and not messing it up and paying for everything in credit cards and get behind the 8 ball. I remember when I was in college, it was 20 some years ago. And I remember Bank of America coming knocking on my door saying, we would love to have you as a banking client. We're going to start you out with a $300 limit on this credit card. No education on how to be responsible as a credit card holder, zero. And suddenly I saw my name on this card and I was like, wow, I'm a somebody. I am 18 years old and I have a credit card and it's got Bank of America on it and it's got a MasterCard logo. They must think I'm pretty cool stuff. And then you go out there and you start using it, thinking that it's real money and it's monopoly money. You are in debt. The first time you run that thing through the processing machine, you're in debt. Now back then it was put in the thing and you went click, click, and it took an imprint. And then you signed your name on the imprint. Remember those days? Yeah, today it's cool. You can scan it, you can swipe it. That first time I saw that imprint and I signed that statement, I was like, wow, that's amazing. I'm a credit card holder. Worst decision I ever made in my life. Worst decision I ever made in my life was swiping that thing for the first time. Because I ran that $300 limit up so fast, it made my head swim. And I found out that 30 days later, I had to pay that thing off. I was dead. For the first time, I was in debt as a youngster, and nobody told me how to be responsible with that. We want people to be responsible. We want you to work really hard so that you put something in place to where you don't have to live your life on robbing Peter to pay Paul and pay off credit cards, right? Isn't that great? And when you can have a company like Youngevity making your car payment for you, which is a big mistake that most people do, is they get into payments that they have trouble affording and it makes their lifestyle suffer. It's called, you become asset rich and cash poor. You look good on the surface and underneath, it smells rotten. You see people get houses all the time that they're not able to afford and they become house poor. You ever heard of that? Yep, they become house poor. Live below your means and have a great life. Live below your means and have a great life, stress-free from finances. So that's why this car bonus is so valuable. These are all the ways that we say thank you to people that have worked hard to inspire people and give people hope. And I know you're next. We have unbelievable tools. Today we were having lunch with somebody, and right at the table, she goes, I get it, I'm in. Her name was Hannah. And she says, I'm in, I'm doing this. This is great, thank you. And Alice Brewer, Rob's mother, pulled out her phone and opened the app, and in 5 minutes, she was in the system. She had her ID number, she had her action, and she left that luncheon completely on fire about her future. You know why she was on fire about her future? Because she didn't know what was possible until that conversation. She did not know what was possible. She thought the only thing possible was to continue being a massage therapist billing an hourly client and standing on her feet all day long, serving other people, getting tired fingers for that check. And she realized for the first time that she had a plan B and an exit strategy. Is that accurate, Rob?
Absolutely.
Yeah, you were there,
That was great.
Angela. Yeah, that's really cool. So here's what you have to look forward to. You get to live longer. You have a proven turnkey system that's now over 18 years old that has only succeeded, never failed. Unbelievable recognition, training and support coming out the wazoo. You get to be your own boss. You have a willable income. You know what that means? It means that everything you develop is never going to get lost. As long as you write it down and submit it to the company and tell them what to do with your check, when you no longer exist, they'll keep on sending it out. They just need to be given permission and told the order of your estate. That's all. That's all they need to do. You need to put it in writing and make it part of your will. So if you have other people that you care about and you want to pass something on, leave a legacy and make sure that you're clear about what happens to your estate, including your income from Youngevity, should you not be breathing on this planet anymore. What are you going to do with that money? Put it in your will. So I make sure that my family's taken care of. I make sure my kids are taken care of. What will you do with it? You get unlimited income potential. There's no glass ceiling. Nobody's saying that you can only go so far. You go as far as you want to. You know what I'm finding? The people in this company that are already making $10,000 a month are ecstatic to get to 50. The people that are already at 50 are ecstatic to get to 100 in a month. The people that are already at 100 a month, and we have them, are ecstatic to get to 250 a month. And the people that are at 200 and 250 a month are ecstatic to get to 500 to $1 million a month. I was having this conversation with some of the leaders last night, and that's where we believe this is going. It's exciting. I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not saying it's going to happen to you. I'm just saying that anything that you can perceive in your head is a possibility because there's no boundaries or limitations on what you can do here, and I think that's inspiring. Vacation incentives, we've got them. We have an unbelievable cast of people leading the company. You know what? They work really hard. They have jobs. They have jobs, and they work really super hard at their jobs so that you and I don't have to have one. And just keep that in mind. They have jobs. You know, I'm grateful to Steve Wallach because he puts in so much time running this company to make sure that you and I don't have hiccups in our journey. And all that cast dances to his drum, and he's a good drum leader. Love it. He sets the tone, sets the pace, sets the beat, and everybody marches to that beat. And look at all these people down here. I mean, this is the president of our company and the CEO of the company standing with all these extraordinary people. You know what they have in common? They've all made over $1 million in their lifetime with Youngevity, and that's pretty cool. We give back. We have charity involvement. American Red Cross, everybody's familiar with, Wounded Warrior Project, Make-A-Wish, and more coming. This is a start for us. So what do we have? We have products that everybody needs. We have a global opportunity. We don't have borders and boundaries to this country. You get to create your own economy here versus being the victim of the real economy. You know what we found? As the U.S. economy decreases, network marketing involvement increases because people need solutions. They need exit strategies. They need a way out. They need alternatives. And not everybody can go out there and start a business or find that next job. And they're looking for something that gives them flexibility. This is a great way to give something to other people. We're dealing with multi-billion-dollar markets, not little widget concepts. Here's what we've shown you so far. What we've shown you is our message, 90 for life. Our products, you can see what they are. Those are all the family of brands. And we've shown you the ability to earn any amount of money that you want to earn. And we've shown you how to get started at that. So your opportunity is right now. If you don't take any action, tomorrow never changes. And one thing we know is that if you don't change, nothing in your life is going to change. You've got to make changes. And the question you got to ask yourself right now, it's a personal thing. Just ask yourself, honestly, are you happy with your current financial situation, the path you're on? Are you? If you're not, you need to join us. Do I have enough free time to do the things I enjoy with my family and friends? If you don't have enough time, you need to join us. Are you prepared for retirement? Here's how I know most people aren't prepared for retirement. There's a gentleman named Kent Huff. A lot of you in this room know who he is. He runs a financial management services program. And if you give him money, he'll invest it for you, and you'll see a return on that, hopefully. In a conversation with him, he said, if you want to make $5,000 a month residual, you'd have to put $1 million of cash into his hands and get 6% annual interest. The market is not so stable to make a prediction that that could happen. And what's the likelihood that you're going to put $1 million of cash into investments? If you're not even close to pulling that off, you're not ready to retire. Because I would imagine that most people in this room need more than $5,000 a month to live comfortably. So what are you going to do? This is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. If you didn't have a better option, you wouldn't be sitting here right now. Don't feel bad about that. I'm standing here myself. I didn't know what else to do. I knew that this was the answer. So make sure that every question you have has been answered, whether it's through what I'm sharing right now or just talking afterwards. Make sure your questions are answered. Starting with us is simple. You want to use our products. Get familiar with as many of them as possible, and we suggest that you start, for the business reasons I discussed already, with a CEO pack. You want to have a CEO pack, and you want to set some goals. And the first thing you want to do is answer this question. Why did I say yes to Youngevity? Why did I enroll with the CEO pack? What's behind that? Write that out. Those are some of your goals. That's your dream. That's your incentive. That's your motivation. It's your inspiration. And get really clear on that. Until you get clear on that, you'll not go as far and as fast as you want to. So know why you said yes to this business. Watch these pictures. This is so cool. My son Ashton was there. We were out on a ship going through the Caribbean, island hopping. It was so much fun. We had fun. We had a 70s deal. People dressed up in costumes. I love this. Are you next? When you get your car bonus, you get that Are You Next thing, and you can put it in your window. You can stick it on your license plate. It's pretty cool. It's a simple question. Are you next? Just remember, opportunities are never lost. They're just passed on to the next person that's waiting and ready and standing firm. Here's something that you want to know about. In September, we have a leadership summit that is happening in Charlotte, North Carolina. And the leadership summit is where the best of the trainers, the coaches, the teachers, the rank advanced people in this company all assemble under one roof, and they pour their guts and their heart out on the things that they did to be successful. And you want to copy those individuals. They've been invited to speak at that convention. You want to go. I don't know what the fee is for that. Is it $99 or?
Yeah, $99.
$99. So the reason I don't know what it is because it's so small. You know, people charge thousands of dollars for things that we're going to be teaching on that weekend. You go to Anthony Robbins or Brian Tracy or Les Brown, any of these people, if you went to their events, it could cost thousands of dollars. Is it worth it? Yeah. And just because we're only charging $99, don't think that it's not going to be worth it because we're not charging more. We're just saying that's not how we make our money. We make our money via what I showed you. That's how we get paid. So the $99, imagine we're going to put 3,000 people under a roof. It's expensive. You know, it can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars to put on a convention. So we're charging people a nominal fee so you get fed and you have, you know, booths and you have people there to serve you and you have a stage and the ability to have audio capability so you can see stuff on the big screen. That's what the $99 is about. So get registered. You can do that through Youngevity.com. There's the website, YoungevitySummit.com. Go there and get registered for this event and make sure you're committed to being there. There's another event coming up that is not shown on this slide. It's going to be not this weekend. It's going to be the following weekend for boot camp. And there are multiple chairman level people in this company that are converging on Denver. There's going to be 200 to 300 people in attendance. How do we know that? Because already registered is over 200, it's like 225. And right now the room is set for 250. We know we're going to hit 250. There's the ability to expand a smidgen if necessary. And I think it's necessary. You want to get registered for this boot camp event. The way you get registered for this boot camp event, I'm going to give you a website. You go there, you click on a button, it's green, and it says boot camp, Denver, July 10th and 11th. So it starts a week from this coming Friday morning. And you want to make sure you're available Friday and all day Saturday. You don't want to miss this. It's easy to get registered. Go to pmgallaccess.com. pmgallaccess.com. Don't miss this. It's an annual event. So if you don't go, you have to wait an entire year to go to this event again. And you don't want to do it. It's the biggest thing happening between now and convention. And what I love about boot camp, it's in your backyard. You don't have to get an airline ticket. You don't have to rent a car. You don't have to get a hotel. You can eat at home. You can bring snacks with you in the day. You can do this completely low budget, and you're going to get some incredibly valuable information. Please go. Please get registered. Take as many people as you possibly can to this event, and I promise you, your business will explode by taking guests and having people in chairs at that event. Do not go solo. Take people with you. Take people with you. If you take 3 people with you to that thing, I would wager to say that you will become a vice presidential in this company very quickly, because the people that go to this event are going to be inspired and have the knowledge and the wisdom and the know-how to become a senior executive marketing director in the company, car qualified in the next 30, 60, 90 days as a result of that event. So go. And on that note, I'm finished, and I'm going to introduce you to somebody that is like a brother to me. So Andrew said some nice things about me coming up here, and I appreciated all the nice things he said, and I loved his vulnerability. Did you notice he wasn't like, my life is perfect? He's saying, I get paid a healthy amount of money, a lot of money in corporate terms, to go do a job that's deemed very important by some people inside of a circle. And he doesn't own his time. The thing that he doesn't have is ownership of his time. Don't you think that at some point you've worked hard enough that you deserve to have your life back? How do you ever break the bonds of slavery? When do you ever earn the right to not be that corporate slave anymore? And so you see people like Andrew, who has a PhD. There are medical doctors. There are all kinds of healthcare providers part of this company, and they're doing what you and I do, which is building this plant. That's what they're doing. There's lawyers, there's CPAs, there are dentists, there are auto mechanics, there are people that work in fields growing crops so you and I have food. There are people that build homes, there's construction workers, there's massage therapists, there are every career path that you can imagine. It's all inside this company. We have restaurant owners and workers. They're all here. So if you're going, I wonder if there's anybody like me here. Yeah, there's a lot of people just like you right here. There's no profile. There's no mold of a certain type of person that's here. So don't profile people. Everybody's here. I have seen, good to see you, Ken. I have seen, I've seen 94-year-old people cross stage being recognized for rank advancements. Think about that. That's incredible. I've seen 13 and 14-year-old young kids that are rank advancing to senior executive marketing director and getting car qualified. That's what I've seen. So what's the profile? I don't know. You tell me. I've seen children and I've seen old folks that are probably not more than months or certainly not more than a couple years away from their life ending, building this business with incredible gusto and a lot of enthusiasm behind it. Why? Any number of reasons. They need to, they want to, it's fun, it's inspiring, they love the gift that they're given to people, they love the retirement, the early retirement. I just challenge you with this, 2 years on your life. 2 years, take your age right now, acknowledge your age and say, in 2 years, I'm gonna be completely free. 2 years, work it hard. For 2, you're already working hard. Just work hard at this when you can and be done. And then do whatever you want to on your terms. That's the beautiful thing that we have the ability to do here. So that's how I got here. Is I met Andrew, and we teamed up together, and Andrew introduced me to Mr. Capandi. And I'm so glad for that introduction because we're like brothers. And I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He's a hard worker. Have you ever noticed that Mr. Capandi is a hard worker? He's a systematic, regimented, timely, always present, dependable You can count on him, guy that always shows up, rain or shine, no matter what, and he's there to inspire and improve your life. And he said, you know what? This fits perfectly into my wheelhouse. I get to keep inspiring people. I get to keep giving people options to improve their quality of life. And I get to pass a baton of something that's duplicable. It's, other than getting in shape, it's hard to duplicate Mr. Capandi because he owns a building. Are you going to go buy $1 million building? Are you going to become a 5th degree black belt in martial arts? Are you going to start your own training program like he does down the street? It's not so simple to duplicate certain things in people's lives. However, it is possible to duplicate people's actions. And what you want to get out of meeting Mr. Capandi is you can duplicate at least a portion of his work ethic. And if you work half as hard as he does at this, you got it made, completely made. If you put 5 hours a week into this and just do it right, you've got it made. So you're going, I don't have time. You know, I'm a busy person. My career takes me way out of bounds. I hardly have time to sleep. Great. Let us teach you how to work smart instead of hard. Stop killing yourself. Work smart instead of hard. And you can copy his work ethic, and you can do your best to emulate the actions that he's taking in the midst of his busy schedule so you can have the results that he has. You know what I'm excited about is this month, Mr. Capandi is rank advancing to vice presidential. And that is so exciting. We have several people here. Yeah. And we have several people here that are rank advancing this month to senior executive marketing director. You know what's awesome about that? It's the beginning of something that is going to continue to compound and compound and compound. And the bigger it gets, the faster it gets bigger. Have you ever noticed that about life? The bigger something gets, the faster it gets bigger. And this is just the beginning. And I'm not kidding around. You're making history here. You are making history based on what's happening. And it took somebody paving the way, like Andrew and like Mr. Capandi, to just start paving the way and saying, we can do this. We're going to develop a team. That team is going to turn into an army, and you can watch us do it, or you can help us do it. Either way, we're doing it. That was my attitude. That was his attitude. That was Andrew's attitude. That was our attitude. You can watch us do it, or you can help us do it, and you can reap the rewards and the benefits that are going to come as a result of that. When people start talking about Youngevity in Colorado, the story of this state right now is evergreen. Period. It's the story. It is the story of the state is evergreen Colorado. Because it's like all of a sudden we have an 18-year-old company, and all of a sudden they're going, Evergreen? Where's Evergreen again? People literally do that. Where's Evergreen again? Well, it's that little town right behind Denver, like up in the mountains. Oh yeah, I heard of that place. That's what a lot of people say. You guys have all grown up here and you're familiar with it, so it's home to you. But a lot of people don't know where Evergreen is. They do now, because we're telling your stories, not somebody else's stories. We're telling your stories. So be part of the history book. Don't be the person that reads about the history and says, I was there one time. And then do the I wish, I would have, and could have. Don't be that person. Just take the action and get after it, and be a person that says, I'm not going to make any excuses. I've made enough excuses in my life. I'm just done making excuses. I'm just going to do it. So just do it and say, I will do this. I will learn how to build this business. I'm going to do the things that I need to do to be successful, and I'm going to follow the right leaders so I get the outcome I'm looking for. And one of the greatest principles of life is do what the successful people do, and you'll get what they've got. You don't need to have their person. You just need to be the best Trevor that you can be. You need to be the best Jan that you can be. Travis, you need to be the best Travis that you can be. Tom, you just don't worry about being somebody else. Just be the best Tom that you can be. That's all you can do. You don't have to become another person. Just love being you and be the best person that you can be. And that's what Mr. Capandi does better than anybody else. And he's a walking, talking example of what happens when you get consistent and you play big and you lead at a big level. And the cool thing is you get to draft and become your own leader on something that's been created. So I'd love for you to hear from my good friend, Mr. Capandi. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Guess these pants were- See that? About 17 years old. I left my other dog. I'm so sorry. I apologize. I'll just move you over here. So these are about 17 years old, and I wore them tonight because I left my other dog in the car because I did a speech for Kent yesterday. And every day I wake up, I'm humbled. I'm humbled. I'm humbled that I can wake up and I can be in shape. I'm humbled I can still make money. Hi, what's your name? Hi. And this reminds me of how hard I have to work. When I put these pants on, I put them on and I say, wow, I must have done a lot of kicks to get those pants looking like that. And I really believe that this business is no different. You got to wear out your pants. You got to wear out your body. You got to wear out your mind. Sometimes you're not even sleeping because you're thinking about all the stuff that you want to do and accomplish in life. Because as my instructor said at a tournament once, he saw this guy's about 70 pounds overweight and he had a big, beautiful uniform. I mean, just gorgeous uniform. And he looked at this guy, I swear, he said this. Have you ever sweat in that dobok? Have you ever actually sweat in that dobok? The guy goes, excuse me, he goes, it doesn't even look like you did anything in it. And that's what people do in life. They don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to sweat. They don't want to work hard. I purposely put this belt on tonight. There is no bars on this belt, is there?
No.
Why not?
Right.
Why not? It's my practice belt. It's reminding me that I have to be a white belt. I have to be humbled enough not to put on the 5th degree and just put on the regular one. Because I'm practicing. I'm not teaching. I'm practicing and teaching. And I think what people do is they get ahead of themselves. I got this. I understand this. No, you don't. I don't understand this. I don't understand Taekwondo. I walk out of class sometimes going, I don't even think I can kick like that anymore. Even though I can, but I walk out so dissatisfied. And this business is kind of like that. When you really want to do well in this business, you know, the first thing you say is, I'm not doing enough. I mean, can you dig me? Mm-hmm. I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. And I'm just going to tell you this. I took the responsibility of being the leader here. And, you know, anybody can be a leader. You can step up any day. I really don't care. But I'm ruthless. I'm not ruthless with people. I am ruthless about changing people's lives. I am ruthless about getting people to their goal fast. I get people in my class, it takes people 5 years, and they don't even change here with a trainer. Isn't that true? You see them day after day, same people, same thing. I got a lady in my class drop 50 pounds in like 4 months. I got a guy yesterday, he goes, I just dropped 20 pounds in a month. How slow do you want to go, or how fast do you want to go? Do you want to go slow, or do you want to go fast? I am ruthless. I will ride you if you say, I want you to push me. I want you to challenge me. I am sick of being where I'm at. So the question is, do you want to get ruthless with this business? Do you want to get just like this morning, just like tonight, right?
Sure.
I got 3 red belts in there and they forgot what they were doing. What'd you guys do?
Push-up.
Knuckle push-ups. Yeah, that's why I asked you, where were you? Because I want you to be there. How many times have I said that, and not a word of a lie, how many times have I said, where you been? How come you're not there? How many times have I said that in the last 10 years to you? Every week. Yeah. But you know what? Most people don't care. I care if you show up to these meetings because it means that you're in. You're plugged in. You want to be great. But I want to be great with you. I don't want to be by myself doing this. That wouldn't be any fun. This is fun, and we get good together. But guess what's going to have to happen? You're going to have to get your pants a little. This is literally, you could see, because I kick so many times. I've worked out in these. I sweat in these. And I'll finish up with this. A black belt, a real black belt never existed in the history of black belts. They wore a white belt And they never had a training floor because they worked out outside. And when they trained and sweat and blood got on their belt and they got dirty, the belt started to turn color. And by the experience and the hard work and the dedication, the belt turned what color? Black. Now mine's the other one's in the car. And then when you work harder, you discipline yourself more, and you're training harder, and you got this belt on, it's sweaty every night. It starts to turn what color? Back to white. I don't have all the answers, and I know I'm a white belt. But I want to be a black belt real bad, don't you? Mm-hmm. And this is the business that we're in. We have to be ruthless about changing our life. And I'm not saying I'm going to be ruthless with you unless you say you want to be ruthless with me. You understand? You say, I want that, Nick, and I want you to just wake me up at 5 in the morning. I want you to call me. I'll do it. And you know I will.
Yes, sir.
If you say, I want that, I'll give it to you. But if you say, I want a little bit of that, I'll give it to you. But how hard do you want to go? I used to say this to my students. I'll go as hard as you do. That's inspiring. I'll go as hard as you do. I'll go as hard as you do. This is what we're in for. Do you want to get ruthless? You want to get great? Do you want to be unbelievable in this? Then get ruthless about your personal, professional development, and everything will change. And quit making excuses why you can't get people to meetings. I don't want to hear anything. How's that? Tom has invited 4 people in the last week. Seriously. Awesome. Seriously awesome, dude. Let's do it. Don't make excuses, make improvements. You know what my instructor used to say to me? Sir, I'm sorry. He goes, don't be sorry, be better. Don't be sorry, Nick, be better. I don't want to hear sorry ever again out of your mouth. We have an opportunity to really, in 2 years, with the skill sets that we're producing in these meetings that we're doing every Saturday and every Thursday, we have enough skill sets where we're dialing down on our skills that we could be, everybody here could be making $10,000 a month in 2 years. I mean, conservatively. Correct or not correct?
Correct.
There's 328 million people in America, okay? We got plenty. It's not going to be saturated. They want leaders, and they want you to be a leader, and they want you to inspire them, and they want us to inspire them. That's why I took the role. I want to do this. Are you with me or not? You want to do this?
Yes.
Let's go for it. What else are we going to do? Let's get serious. That's why it doesn't take me 5 years to get somebody in shape. A month, right? 1 month. He came in shape. Not really. You thought so. You can quantum leap something if you just say, I'm doing it. Bam. Boom, boom, boom. You're there, right? Yes or no? With the right leadership and training, anybody can do anything. Mr. Newton took a guy. This is a true story. He took a guy who wasn't really that good at. He fell into the world championship. And he pulled that guy in the corner and goes, you got to believe in yourself. You go attack that guy. You go get that guy. He won. Guy didn't even have the skills. He just had the heart. All it takes is heart sometimes. Maybe you don't have the skill set, the communication skills, but you have heart. You have desire to be a baseball player. Go for it. Don't let anybody tell you you can't do this. Don't believe anybody that tells you you can. How many times have I been told I can't do something? You know what that means? You know what that says to me? Your doubt is my motivation. Your doubt in me is going to just make me more pissed off. Go for it. I don't care. But how bad do you want something? Are you willing to pay the price? It's a price, guys. Get to work on yourself. Get to work on your invite. Get to work. Just like we work out. It's called workout because there's work. It's a business. Isn't that right? It's a business. You got to work the business. Get people here. Get so good at the invite that people can't tell you no. He just went over it. It's beautiful. Beautiful invite. Wasn't it a beautiful invite today?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear his invite? It's amazing. How good do you want to be? Be so good they can't ignore you. Right? How do you like me now? That's what Randy Sullivan says at the pitching range. How do you like me now? You didn't want me on my team then, but now you want me on my team and you need me on my team. How do you like me now? And that's what you're going to say in 2 years. If you just plug in and do the due diligence, if you like, go through the rank, do the white belt training, get a little dirty, and get serious. Seriously. Work out your mind. Work out your body. Train like there's no tomorrow. And one day you'll wake up and you'll be a senior vice chairman. Everyone can be one here. No, there's no doubt in my mind that if I help you and Scott helps you and Andrew helps you with the skill sets, why can't you be there? Right? How long have you been a red belt? A long time. Tell him why I won't. Now, he's an awesome dude. The dentist, he's in Youngevity. I bang on him every day, don't I? I am ruthless. You guys don't even know how hard I am. You go to Taekwondo and a whole different story. You think I'm hard in conditioning? This is nothing. This is nothing. Taekwondo is a whole different ballgame, isn't it? And I told him, I will test you for a black belt when what? When you have your what? Training hours. What is this business? Training hours. How do you get to a certain level? Training hours. For people to meeting, training hours. It's simple. Anyone can do it. You got to start as a white belt. You have to learn. You have to be yellow, green, blue, red, black. And then all of a sudden, you're up in front teaching. I'm not a black belt here. I'm just wearing one because I've just got out of class. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you really want to elevate your game, if you really want to rise to the top, you got to be that person that does the things. Like what did Brian Tracy says? If you've never done, if you do something, if you haven't done, if you don't do something you've never done before, you have to be something you've never been before. You have to be something. You have to work on something to get somewhere, right? You can't just get this because you showed up at a meeting. You have to work, right? Punch, punch, punch. That's what we do for months. Then I'll show them another one and another one. What's the first thing we have to learn in this business? Dreams and goals. What's the second thing? Invite. Master it. Talk to people. He's already doing it. We can do this, guys. Come on. What's holding us back? What is the biggest thing that holds us back in this business? I'll tell you what it is. I'm going to tell you or you want to tell me? Yeah. I'm afraid. What are you afraid of? Get better at the invite and won't be afraid of anything. You have conviction and obsession. How can anybody turn you down? If you're enthusiastic, excited, convicted, you're reading, you're studying, you're practicing, who can tell you no? Nobody can tell you no. So go out there and be a black belt in this business. Get some tread in your pants. Take some shots. It's not that bad. First time you get hit, it doesn't feel that bad, does it, Andrew?
No, sir.
You're gonna get hit. Just turn your head. Parrot. Right? You're beautiful at that. You hit, you roll with the punch. Just roll with the punches and get going. Get busy, get going, get busy, get going, get busy. Quit making excuses and get serious. Get ruthless. And when you say, that's enough, I'm doing it, let's do it. Fair enough? All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
We have the training. Training is right here. Don't have to worry about it. Plug in, you'll get successful. That's it, right?
Right.
Well, how'd you like the training last week?
Great.
Phenomenal, right? And she showed it for the first time because she heard us speak. She heard our little group, and she came up, and she's not even in our group. I'll take on anyone. You want to come up here and train? I'll train you. I'll train you. And if you ask me to be hard on you, I'll be hard on you. If you ask me to give you a hug once in a while, I don't know if that's going to happen. Right? Right?
We're good?
Yeah.